Hello, I'm Nicole Wolf-Camplin, the Adult Literacy Coordinator at the Cape Fear Literacy Council, and today we're here to talk about something that's a little bit challenging if you haven't spent a lot of time in the classroom. We're going to discuss lesson planning in hopefully a step-by-step way that makes you feel confident in doing this with your student. So, as you begin lesson planning, let's review back on your training. Here at Cape Fear Literacy, we speak about a couple of different things. One of those is getting in gear. We want to make sure that the tutor knows the student's goals, that they have planned to engage the student, starting with where they're at, that they have activities planned to keep the learning interesting and fast forwarding and moving and engaging. And then we also want to make sure we plan for review. So GEAR, we get it in gear. The other thing that we've talked about here is direct instruction. And the easiest way to think about this is first, you're going to directly tell the student something. It's going to be an I'm doing it. You're going to watch me. I'm going to tell you the key tips, but I'm going to do it and lead you through it. Then we are going to do some things together, and then you are eventually going to do those things on your own. So it's a continuous release of responsibility from the tutor to the student. If you're working at the Cape Fear Literacy Council, you also have been given a student profile, which gives you some basic information about your student and what their goals are. I'm going to suggest starting with a lesson in the middle of a stream of instruction. So this is a student perhaps that I've been working with a little bit and I've gotten to know just a wee bit. And I've also been issued some skill books. So two of the series we use here are Journey to Success and Focus on Phonics. So always start with what you know. I know I've got to get in gear. I know I've got at least 3 steps of instruction for every topic I'm going to talk about. And the student that I'm going to be planning this lesson for is someone who wants their GED. She's currently reading at about a junior high level. She's a single mother with 3 kids, and she can handle material at about 7th or 8th grade, and she likes to read romance novels. So given that little bit of background, how can I plan a lesson that's engaging to her, keeps her on task, and keeps her moving towards her goals? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to think about how you lesson plan, and it's very personalized. Some people like to use an outline. Some people like to use Post-it notes or index cards and move things around a table. I'm a big fan of Post-it notes myself. You can see I've marked the books with some, and you'll see more as we go through. Some people like to use calendars or other apps. It's fine. Today, we are going to use a very clear lesson plan outline. So we're going to go from this lesson plan outline, which leaves us place for our goals and also for a warm-up activity, as well as some information about the Journey to Success book and the Focus on Phonics book, and then a contextualized activity that we haven't actually talked about, but I'll get to. Here, you can see that the goals for this unit or this lesson are to begin summarizing information in order to better comprehend it. We're also going to be working on the Y to I switch before adding suffixes. And then we're going to go through that engagement. Hey, remember when we talked about how the GED was your learning goal? We need to work on some good reading. So we're going to work on some challenging reading from Journey to Success. And then I'm going to launch into that. I'm going to read the first paragraph. How about you tell me what you remember? And then you're going to read the first paragraph again. Make sure you get the decoding. And then we'll move on to paragraph 2. Maybe you'll read that one first and I'll read it second so that you have a chance to show me you can decode. And then I will listen to you and you can listen to me and we can talk about what points were brought up there. And then for the third paragraph, I'll give you your choice. And that's how we'll move through these activities so that she's engaged and active during the learning process. When that's finished, it's time to grab those tiles and start doing the manipulative that I had planned for the Focus on Phonics book. Finally, at the end, we're going to get to that contextualized activity. And this is really important. Our students who struggle with literacy have real needs in the real world, things that they're struggling with or things they need to know for their jobs, for their schools, to help their kids to communicate better with their doctors. And so we always want to reserve a little bit of time maybe at the end of any lesson, to make sure we're meeting their needs, not only for the future goals, but for what they need today. And so since my student is a single mother and she's got parent-teacher conferences coming up, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what to expect when you go into the teacher's classroom and you meet with a student. We could even role play it a little bit, but I want to make sure she's prepared to talk to the teacher and tell the teacher something positive about her child's learning experience. Everybody likes to hear a compliment. She knows that. And so what can she say that's good about school and good about the teacher? What kinds of concerns does she have about the educational environment or about the teacher or about her students' performance? And what kinds of questions might she have prepared to ask the teacher so that they can start a dialogue and she can maybe make a greater contribution to her child's learning? And that should take about 15 or 20 minutes, but it means that I'm listening to her and what her needs are and kind of thinking ahead about how to help her plan for that in her real life. We call that contextualized instruction, and it's every bit as important as any of the book work that we do here.